You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning. Good morning. Good motherfucking morning. This is your Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. I am your host, Ariana, aka Divine Moon Goddess, coming at you with some real ass shit this morning, right? Every morning, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm a little bit late today. The struggle was real to get up today. I keep saying my body is like, we gonna sleep. We gonna sleep in right now. It's kind of cloudy today, so I could see why I was like trying to stay in the bed. Good morning, Ariana. One of the things, of course, this morning show is brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com, where all of your questions get answered. And remember, today's the last day to book. Today's the last day to book to use the 30% off code Fresh Start 222 to get any of the services for that 30% off. So, good morning, Lashina. We're going to have a short show today, and it's going to be pretty short because I have an appointment at 11 and I got to be on time, y'all. But to this morning show, I had to talk about it, okay? Everybody's been talking about it, and I know the Oscars. We got to talk about it. There's a couple things, points that I do want to make about it, and I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments about it. But you know, we had my morning show yesterday. Good morning, Becky, about respect. You know, and how that transcribes. And, you know, so right now, you know, the Oscars were Sunday. Nobody would even know that the Oscars happened if we didn't hear about the slap, right? So apparently, and it's quite apparent on the video, right, that Chris Rock is one of the hosts. He's not the host. He's one of the hosts. And he's telling jokes like a comedian would at a fucking show, right? It's not like we haven't had comedians host shows before, so we kind of know how this goes. He made a joke about Jada Pinkett's hairstyle, which called her G.I. Jane, right? And so she took offense, and then Will Smith got up, walked up there, and like slaps Chris Rock on fucking live TV, right? And I have to commend Chris Rock, because you could see that he kind of like really had to hold back some shit that he wanted to say and do in that moment. Good morning, Debbie. Okay, boo. One of the things I wanted to say first was it's disappointing, to say the least, that the Academy allowed that to just happen and nobody, like, well, on this side of the lens, nobody decided to say shit or do shit, right? Now I know he was a nominee and all, and actually won, and then fucking did an acceptance speech. I think that was very disrespectful to allow someone who just assaulted someone to stay in the fucking building. Because if that had been anybody else or anywhere else, and this just shows you the celebrity bullshit, right? The celebrity status, right? Oh, can't remove Will Smith out the fucking place, right? So that's my other point of bullshit, right? Because nobody else would have been able to just walk up and slap a host and then, you know, go back and sit down and just enjoy the show like it's okay, right? A lot of people said it was a hoax, but if you rewatch it, you can see, especially on Chris Rock's side, that it was not planned. You could see him. They did ask him to leave. See, that's the problem though. You asked him, he refused. He should have been escorted out of the fucking building. That's not acceptable. Well, we asked him, he didn't want to leave. This motherfucker just got up, walked up on someone and slapped the shit out. And you guys know Will Smith is a very taller man than Chris Rock, right? So fucking Will Smith's hands are probably size 12 and shit. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. He should have been escorted out of the fucking building for disrespecting. And when I watched his acceptance speech, he was talking about the role. He was too much into the role that he played with Serena and I can't remember the other one's name, their father, and how he was protecting them and he has to protect people. And in no way, shape, or form was he put in a place, I feel, that he needed to fucking protect anybody. But you put hands on someone who was making a joke at a fucking show. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't say that that's okay. Now, on the other hand, I do know we all know Jada and Will have put all their business out, right? Right. They're all their business is out, but that's by choice. Nobody asked y'all to air y'all fucking business out on live fucking, Facebook Live or wherever the fuck the show is at. I can't remember because I don't watch her show. But nobody told you to air all your business out. No one. It's like coming out here and talking to you guys. And I tell you guys a lot of personal shit about me, what I went through, and then I get mad because someone uses that against me later. Well, I shouldn't have said it if I didn't want nobody to know. I shouldn't have said it if I didn't think it was going to be taken out of context. It will. There's just things about this that I feel like you've been in the business way too long to get mad at a comedian at a show when we know what comedians do. It sucks right now to be a comedian in the profession of a comedian because our culture now is turned to everything is too sensitive. You can't say this because it hurts someone's feelings. You can't say that because somebody is offended. We used to be able to laugh at our bullshit. We used to be able to laugh at our own bullshit and keep it pushing. And now we can't do that because everybody's too fucking serious. We can't just laugh this shit off and keep it pushing. Laughter is a key to healing. Laughter is a key to raising our vibration. But it seems like we're being pushed to lower that vibration and be fucking serious. We got to be serious all the time. Can't laugh. Can't enjoy. Not to say you got to make fun of people, but we know the profession of a comedian. Amy Schumer was up there. Wanda, I think her name is Wanda Sykes. She was also a comedian there. We know they're gonna roast, right? Exactly. He could have said something back. Not this. I mean, he was very like, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. Like that's what he said. And it was like, I could see if you were out and somebody disrespect your wife, man, stick up for your wife. But at a comedy show, I mean, not a comedy show, but you're at a show that has comedians as the host. Everybody was getting roasted in the front row. Will and Jada weren't the only ones. So that's where I'm having a hard time with that, where you don't get a pass because y'all doing bad in your life. You don't get a pass of because you guys aired out all your shit. And now everyone has made every meme, every joke has been on you guys for over a year now. But that was your choice. You knew the second you start airing out your true shit, what people were going to fucking say about you. You don't get a pass because you can't handle it. No, that's not right. That's not right. You know? Exactly. And I feel it's disrespectful to Chris, you know what I mean? And any other fucking comedian that is just trying to fucking put on a show that they got paid to fucking put on a show and then get assaulted and the man gets to sit there and you got to finish your show. Chris Rock was uncomfortable and he was trying his best to get back and be professional as fuck because that could have went so many different ways. And I give Chris Rock so much credit because he really just was like, I'm going to continue the show. I'm going to let this slide. and I'm gonna just do my thing. Like he really just went back to, okay, all right, I guess that just happened. All right. There had to be a little bit of embarrassment also, and the fact that you got assaulted, and that's it. This man doesn't get fuck. I don't give a shit if it's Will Smith. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that celebrity bullshit because you got money, you get away with shit. I fucking cannot stand that shit. It irks my nerves that celebrities aren't held at the same degree that anybody else would. You think I could walk up and go slap Chris Rock and somebody wouldn't fucking send me to jail? No, they would have hauled my ass out. They would have hauled my ass out real fucking quickly. Like, nah, bitch, you going to jail. And he's lucky Chris Rock didn't slap him with the fucking charges and sue his ass. Chris Rock could have just got paid. Could have just got paid. Like, man, he just don't know. And he walked off that stage with a smirk as if he just did the damn thing. And I think that's so rude. I think Chris Rock took on a hit of shit that wasn't even something that he did. All of that pent up emotion, breakdown bullshit that was going on inside Will, he took it out on Chris Rock. And that's unfortunate. And that's really unfortunate that the Oscars, that they allowed that to just be now. Oh, now there's an investigation going on the Academy. Now they're looking into what happened. Get the fuck out of here. You were there. You were there. It's on video. Motherfuckers are playing this shit because it was live. Everybody is replaying this. You know how many memes are out there now? Fucking million memes now, you know? I know. And that's why I said he's lucky that Chris Rock was like, no, I don't want to press charges. He's lucky. Because somebody else would have been like, yeah, I'm about to get your ass and all your millions, Mr. Oscar winner. It just sucks because as someone who's in a comedy profession, and that's what they do, if you talk to any comedian, when someone goes to a show, even someone in a wheelchair will tell them, don't skip over me. I came here for the same treatment. And so comedians know, like, there's no one we're not going to pick and choose in the crowd. We're going to hit everybody and talk shit, right? Whether she's having alopecia or whatever's going on with her skin, and that's why she's got a low hairstyle, people took that as the G.I. Jane joke was bad. For me, the G.I. Jane joke is awesome. I remember that movie. G.I. Jane was a badass. I don't know if you guys remember that movie with Demi Moore, but she was a fucking badass in that movie. So, some people took it as, oh, people back in the day used it as a gay joke. Well, I didn't take it that way. And I know everyone has their own kind of way of taking things, but I didn't take it that way. G.I. Jane was a badass. So the haircut, it was too much. For that comment, it was too much. And I think Will's emotions got the best of him about other shit that has happened. And whatever has happened with him and Jada, he took that shit out on Chris Rock. And it's unfortunate and it's sad. Like real shit. I think that's the thing about it is we may think she's gorgeous, right? But she got a lot of insecurities within her. And you could tell she didn't like the joke, right? And it's crazy because when he said the joke, Will was laughing. Will thought it was funny until he probably looked over, which they don't have the clip, but until he probably looked over and seen she was pissed off and mad, and then just jumped up and went. He didn't even think about it; just jumped up, went and slapped like Chris was some dude off the street. So that's my sadness about it, is that they are taking their sweet ass time when they should have escorted him out. I don't care if he's Will Smith. I don't care. Like, the thing about it is, you may be going through shit, but I don't think it gives anybody the right to put hands on anybody else. I'm not a person of violence. I don't believe in violence. I don't. I don't believe violence is the answer. I don't believe you need to go to a violent state to have a conversation. And I do believe if you're emotional, you need to go sit in a corner until your emotions are calm to have a conversation. I'm not the person who has conversations when I'm mad or emotional because I know how it can get. And I think people need to be responsible for the way that they act in an emotional state. And I very well think he should have got a clap back and he should have to pay for that shit. Restitution should be there, because you can't just do what the fuck you want and hit people because you're in a mood. That's not how it works. Oh, I'm in a bad mood today and I can't take it because we as a couple chose to air all our fucking business out on national TV to everyone to ridicule. Your stars, come on now. You can't tell me they didn't know they were going to get some hit back on discussing all your personal fucking business. If you're discussing all your personal intimate tragedies, people are going to use that against you. People are shitty. Come on. We're not new to this. We know how the internet is. You kind of, not that you signed up for it, but you kind of did. You kind of did sign up for that with that red table talk. You guys kind of signed up for that, right? Yeah. And then he would, I don't know if you've seen the episodes that he went on, when they were talking about the entanglement, that everyone brings up the entanglement shit, right? Yeah, I don't agree with it. Good morning, Renee. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that he got to just sit and enjoy the show and then accept his fucking Oscar after you just slap somebody over a joke. Over a joke. Sad. I feel like to some extent, regardless to if he wasn't okay with the red table talk, he knew what was coming, essentially. Because that red table talk, the whole premise was to air shit on the line of their personal business. So, and we all know how that reality TV shit goes when you need like viewers and you need people to watch. We've watched the Kardashians do it. We've watched all of these other reality fucking families do it. And they hype up the fucking emotions and drama to get more views. Can't nobody tell me that that isn't the same thing going on with the red table talk in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure there's an extent of wanting to help people and use your experiences to help others. But I still feel like there are some things, especially if you're not healed, don't fucking talk about them with everyone. You guys aren't even healed from this shit. The shit is still hurting you. Like, it's not like it was hurting us and we're over it and we're fine now. We can have this decent conversation and get the clap back. It's like, no, let's bring all this shit up on the red table talk so we can irritate each other more and fucking fall apart. Like, what the fuck? Right. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I just wanted to talk about it though. I think it's an interesting display of how our society is moving and it is. And unfortunately, it's a display of celebrities, of what they get away with just because of who you are, and you get a pass. And um and I think it's horrible to for someone to be like, you don't have to be accountable, and just because the next day you send out a statement on Twitter, you know that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Good morning, Ashley. Right, right. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of it is on her, but yeah, I think it's sad. I think it's sad. I do. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't even know there was an Oscars. I just know that I started to see. You just start to see the YouTube because I'm on YouTube with my shit. So I started to see a lot, and I was like, "Wait, what the hell happened?" And so then I had watched it. Yeah, people. I mean, you will start to see it. It's more of people just talking about it right now, but you'll start to see it, It sure the fuck isn't, Heather. Yeah. I don't think it's staged. I know people are saying that, but I watched it. There was this body interpreter who slowed it down and he was kind of talking about it. And I was watching Chris Rock more than anything. And Chris Rock, you could tell that was not staged on his part. He was very like caught off guard and stumbled to regain his focus on a couple parts to get back to what he was doing because he was in shock of what happened. You could tell. It was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? You could tell it was just I don't feel it was staged. Um and it's crazy because people are saying it's staged, but honestly, Will Smith is actually a phenomenal fucking actor. You know what I mean? He's actually a awesome fucking actor. He would have been able to play those emotions off a little bit better during the stage. I don't think it was staged. If you really slow it down and look at Chris Rock, he wanted to do more. He had to stop himself from saying shit. You even see him redirect his what he's saying and kind of take some breaths to breathe. And he's looking off, trying to regain his composure of what to do next. Um, you could tell Chris Rock was not. It was not staged. You anyone could say anything else about the other parts and how Will, yeah, was Will probably doing too much at his speech? Of fucking course, but I commend Chris Rock for a couple things. I commend him from not stooping to the level that Will did, right? I um I commend him for that, and I commend him for holding his composure after just being assaulted. That is a true definition of elevation. On this channel, when we're talking about elevation and we're talking about raising to a higher vibration, that is the definition of what I'm fucking talking about. Where someone can disrespect you and hit you, and you just keep your fucking composure and you don't go there. You're like, it's not worth it. I've come too far. It's not worth it. That shit was crazy. And I commend him for that. And that is who I aim to be. I aim to be a person who can sit in that energy and not let someone trigger me to where I need to react to their bullshit. Because that wasn't about Chris Rock. That was the hurt and pain of Will Smith and Jada. If anyone understands that, then they see why Chris Rock held back, because it wasn't about him. It wasn't about the joke. Because even you heard Chris Rock like it was a joke. And that's when Will Smith starts screaming, keep my name. I'll try. And he's like, I will. Yeah, I don't believe it was staged. You got to look at Chris Rock. You got to really look at Chris Rock and feel what he's feeling. He was shocked. He was shocked and trying. There's a couple moments where you could see, and he's good at readjusting, but you could see it wasn't on Chris Rock's part. You could see it. Mm. Will Smith was in this emotional state, like he defended his woman finally. Um, and I think he chose the wrong time to do it. I feel like if you wanted to defend her, maybe go on your social media and publicly do it that way. I don't think he should have took it out on Chris personally. I think it was disrespectful. My point is, that's their life. But my point is the Oscars. I think they should have did better. I don't think that Will should have been allowed to accept an Oscar after what he did. I think he should have been penalized right then and there, and they should have handled it there. Not let days go by and then say we're going to look into it. I think that's some bullshit. Right, right. Good morning, Rochelle. And that's why I feel like no, fuck that. I don't care if you're Will Smith. No, that's wrong. Yeah. I just my point is to commend Chris Rock. And if you haven't seen watch it, because the thing about it is a couple things of my point that I really wanted to make was the bullshit of our elites, right? You know, that's the bullshit of them, and the ability to assault someone with no consequence. And I think that's horrible. I think it's fucking horrible and it's disrespectful. I honestly can't look at Will Smith the same. Like, once you start to act like that, you don't really get passes after that. It's just kind of like you're trash now. You've let yourself get to this low fucking vibration, and you're just like, yeah, no. It's just, once I lose respect for you, it's hard to come back to that, and it's just like, damn, you know. I think even though they're just humans, and I know everyone has their breaking point, which I do understand that, you chose that life. It's like me choosing my life and bitching and complaining about it. If you choose your life, you choose your direction, you choose that stardom, you know what it comes. Will Smith has been in the limelight way too long to not understand the ramifications of being a fucking star. You know, he's made millions and millions of fucking dollars. He's made millions and millions of fucking pictures. This is not a new star who broke under the limelight. It's bullshit. The real, exactly. And people like to hide the real them until under pressure you start to see the cracks, right? They're not as perfect as you pretend to be. And I think that's what's wrong with stars, is they pretend to be so fucking perfect until some shit happens, and then you're like, "Oh, no, you're just like everyone else." You're not as high on the totem pole, you know? I think it's wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it's just sucks that Chris had to just like sit back while this man's just sitting in a fucking, right in front of him while he's trying to finish the fucking show. That sucks ass. So I feel for Chris. My heart goes out to Chris. I can't really say I'm sympathetic with Will and Jada. I'm not. Over a year of their bullshit with the red table talk, because everybody talks about it. There's no way not to hear about it. Everybody talks about it. It's all over the fucking place, right? I can't say that I'm sympathetic. I just can't. I can't say that I'm sympathetic. Call me cold-hearted. I just can't. Um, y'all have put y'all shit out there, and now you got to deal with it. And I feel like using the excuses that you want to use is not okay to hurt someone else. Hurt people, you guys. And that's a prime example of someone who's hurt, who's willing to hurt somebody else. You got to remember, these are things we talk about all day. We talk about this on this show all the time. That incident is a prime example of the stuff that I'm talking about every day with you guys. Hurt people, and then sit back and justify it. And it's not okay. It's not okay to justify your bullshit. It's not okay to justify hurting someone. It's not okay for lashing out because you're in a moment of sadness. It's not okay. It's not okay. It just isn't. You can say what you want, but it's not okay. And just because you're at your breaking point, go to the fucking corner and think and rationalize and release that shit. Don't just put it in your hands to hurt, harm, or actually physically hit somebody because you're in a mood or because your life is breaking down. It's not okay. The thing about it is, I always tell everyone, we are one trigger away from murdering someone, and the shit is real. People don't realize that all it takes is one person to trigger you for you to show your darker nature. We all have a darker nature. We all have that moment to get very petty and very low and very stupid and just do some stupid shit, right? And then have to sit back and deal with the consequences, because you're free to choose whatever in the moment, right? But you're not free of the consequence behind it. So in that moment, Will Smith had he had a little ways to walk up to Chris. He had enough time to really think about it, and he could have whispered to Chris. He could have turned around. He could have did a lot of things in that moment. He didn't. He chose to hit him. So you're free to make the choices that you want, but you are not free of the consequences that come after. You're going to get those consequences regardless. And maybe Will is not going to go to jail or get fined or something, but karma's a motherfucker, and karma does not skip your life. Karma will come back. So, you know, right. I do feel that. So if you don't take anything away from that shit that's going around, take those instances around where on Chris Rock's part, like I said, I commend him. I commend him for being that person who switched and did not go to the level that Will did. And I commend him for that because that's who I strive to be. That is the type of person that I strive to be the person who doesn't react, to be the person who doesn't let someone else's hurt and pain affect me. Because the thing is, most of the time, people's hurt and pain has nothing to do with us. It's all them, but we get triggered and then we get combative and we're trying to prove shit. Once you step out of that trying to prove, you just step back like, I don't got to prove that I was just joking. I was just joking, you know? All right. Okay, that just happened, right? Right. I know. And people are like, oh, he shouldn't lose his Oscar. The fuck? What is it going to have a tantrum that he lost his Oscar? You hit somebody. The fuck? When is it okay to just walk up and hit somebody off of words? Words. He didn't say fuck your bitch or any of that. He's a comedian doing a damn show, doing what he was paid to do. I'm confused on that. I'm like, wait, what? Mm-mm. All right, you guys. I got to end this. So let me do the horoscope real quick. I got to end this because I got an appointment. But I just wanted to bring those couple points to you guys and have you just kind of think about it. Think about those things. Just think about those things. It doesn't matter if it's an open hand slap, closed slap, or what. It's on video. You can't lie. I mean, it's on fucking video. Like, but just think of that, think of that. It's that you always got two choices. In that situation, there's always, you're either the aggressor or you're the person who's going to take the higher road. It's very hard as hell to take the higher road, you guys. So hard to take the higher road in a situation. But do it. Do it. Move forward. Detach and let go of people. Because hurt people hurt people. It is how it is. All right.